Hello and welcome back to Movie Flakes. A very interesting romantic review of The Idol awaits you. Jocelyn, a young, alluring pop artist with a history of mental illness, is introduced to us in episode 1 of The Idol. Even though the second half of her identity is still a mystery to us, we shall delve into her rocky background. In preparation for the release of her newest single, Jocelyn is working on her album cover. Her home is a hive of activity. Chaim, Leia, Xander, Benjamin, and Destiny make up her support group. Currently, their duties aren't entirely apparent, with the exception of Leia, who is her best friend and assistant. Daniel, an intimacy coordinator recruited to safeguard Jocelyn's interests, objects to the level of nudity during the photo shoot. He is worried about the nudity rider in the label's contract. Daniel is imprisoned in the restroom while Chaim attends to the situation. He has bigger fish to fry, though. The internet is ablaze with discussion about a picture of Jocelyn with semen on her face. Although it is absolutely everywhere, the group agrees to keep it from her for the time being. We also get to meet Jocelyn's friend Diane in the song's video choreography, which takes place at her home. As if this weren't enough, Andrew Finkelstein, the owner of the event promoter Live Nation, arrives at the residence. He worries that Jocelyn's live performance didn't sell out and that sales will likely be worse the following time because of the controversy around the semen. Vanity Fair reporter Talia Hirsch has also arrived at the residence for an interview. When Jocelyn ultimately learns about the image, she doesn't experience another psychotic breakdown, choosing instead to dismiss it by stating, "It could have been worse." Hirsch is pleased by Jocelyn during the interview because of her bravery and tenacity. Jocelyn puts up a strong facade, but on the inside she can be a shambles. With Diane, she goes out clubbing at night. Tedros, the club's proprietor, shows interest in her. The crowd is drawn to Jocelyn since she is a well-known celebrity, and Tedros can be seen dancing with her. We observe Tedros' shady goons, Izak and Mitch, making some strange signals, suggesting that something gruesome and unpleasant is happening behind the scenes. Leia accepts the former's offer to dance with her as she becomes more worried about Jocelyn's disappearance. Tedros takes the star to a more private location where they share personal moments. But Tedros and Jocelyn connect over pop culture instead of acting out the stress physically. Jocelyn confides in Leia about her fears among other things. Leia learns about Jocelyn's vulnerabilities through her. She worries about her single's upcoming release and questions the source of its inspiration. Leia comforts her and promises her that it will be a success. Jocelyn asks Tedros to her home the following evening. He appears to be the series' enemy because he is cunning and dubious. Despite Jocelyn's suggestive attire, the two do not engage in physical contact. Throughout the encounter, there is a peculiar sexual tension between them. He is brought to Jocelyn's studio where she performs the rough mix of her newest song. Although he enjoys the song, he claims that Jocelyn lacks a sexy voice. The Idol's controversy has come to light and hit us square in the face in the first episode of the season. The first episode has a life of its own and may not have much of an impact on the rest of the series. It offers a fascinating look into Sam Levinson's sex-obsessed, sensual cinematic universe, but there may be more to it than first appears. To develop and shape the surface-level notion into a gripping narrative, patience, kindness, and diligence are required. The fate of The Idol will be decided by the following episodes. Despite all the fanfare and criticism, Lily Rose Depp gives Jocelyn's character a fantastic debut. She seemed to be too locked up in her head, however, as Tedros from The Weeknd's dreadfully carved-out persona says. Rose entered the situation with preconceived notions about how Jocelyn's world reflects her reality. Her performance comes out as conceited, flippant, and unoriginal. Rose faces a challenging assignment, even though basing our assessment of her solely on one episode is unfair in and of itself. The first episode of HBO's The Idol, Pop-Tarts and Rat Tails, centers on the title character Jocelyn and a sexual photograph that was made public without her permission. It will be uncomfortable to watch and almost agonizing to listen to if the need for closeness coordinators is weakened. The show still focused on pop singer Jocelyn when she meets Tedros, despite the fact that the photo is the ghost looming over the entire hour and is never seriously probed. Given the press reports and accusations that The Weeknd and Sam Levinson fought to remove the female perspective from the movie, it's a downward spiral without a message or grasp of what could make the story fruitful. That reads clearly and loudly. Jocelyn is treated more like set decoration and something to be moved around for other characters than someone who has to be examined. And we never even see her converse to Diane, with whom she is obviously close. Technically speaking, the editing of moments starring Kim and Depp is obviously done to exclude dialogue or make it into voiceovers for scenes rather than including dialogue that would develop both characters. The Idol is outrageous in the worst ways simply because it is. None of these topics are off bounds when it comes to telling stories, but how the writers and filmmakers use them may convert something important into something needless and exploitative. In reality, discussing revenge porn is a popular topic, especially in the lives of celebrities whose private photos and films are frequently leaked online. The Idol episode 1 makes use of the body, but it does not adequately convey the actual content of any discussion that might be conducted about it. The fact that the Idol episode 1 has hints of being something better is, in my opinion, its worst flaw. Instead, a forced masculine gaze that doesn't help any of the actresses tasked with making the series successful weakens it on purpose. Depp's performance and her character are lost in the least interesting manner because of the excessive use of vulgarity and the lack of any connection to the story or perspective. The males in this series tore away any pretense of a theme and substance that could have been present, much to how Jocelyn gets consumed by the men around her in the episode. New episodes of the Idol episodes debut every Sunday and are now streaming on Max. Yes, he uses knife play during the first date. Tweaking your nose at the taboo may be exciting and a pleasant place to visit, both in art and in reality. You have to decide if you want to live there. Joss must ask the audience. Fortunately, it seems like the program is posing the same question. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe for videos.